How's it going there, true believers? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another X-Men 97 episode review. We are at episode 9, Tolerance Extinction, part 2. If I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more reviews like this one. And if you want to support me even further, my Patreon link is in the description below. Who dog, after we had that really good first part of this 3-part season finale, it's amazing. And I love the fact that we're getting a 3-parter, which is kind of like the life death 2-parter, which was like kind of cut in half. I like it a lot, and it's really good. So let's pick up from last episode real quick. I forgot to mention that the blue Porsche had the initials Slim on it, with the I being a 1, so that did belong to Cyclops. For the previously on X-Men, it was done by Cyclops this time around. Storm is back inside the title. Yeah. In her new costume, or new costume was new for the 90s, right? And those people, I found this out immediately after last week, and they put it in the intro this time. Those people that were running in the middle and the Sentinels, those are Prime Sentinels. If you pause it, as soon as you see them run, and they were in the episode. So I love that shit, man. Bo DeMaio, just that's such a good touch to say, oh yeah, the enemy was there the whole entire time. Fantastic stuff. I have more notes on the side here. So we have picking up from, remember, Magneto did that magnetic pulse across the world, which shut off all the Prime Sentinels. I keep wanting to call them Omega Sentinels, because Omega Sentinels are actually different, but Prime Sentinels. And these Prime Sentinels are just frozen. You got Bastion crying over his Prime Sentinel mom and putting her in the bed. It's like, am I supposed to feel bad for him? No. Him? Yeah, really? Yeah, no. Get out of here. But Storm and Forge save Jubilee and Roberto. Like, they're still being chased by people. One of the dudes wearing this little muty thing, right? Just thunderbolt right there. Just like Storm is not having none of that stuff. And what else was picked up? Magneto has the helmet. Oh, so it wasn't just like an EMP, because B says, Magneto's blackout. No, it's more than that. He has almost destroyed the what do they call magnetic poles of the world. So he's essentially, if he doesn't undo what he did, he's gonna destroy the world, right? And they on a time crunch. They have 12 hours until that matters, and just things are hitting the fan. He actually raised up the old asteroid M, put on that old costume and that old helmet and everything, and one of the coolest things, and they showed the clip already. I kind of wish they hadn't have shown that clip. Like, official Marvel Studios put it out there. I wish they hadn't, but we do get more costume changes, and they have to go back to Mur Island because the mansion's destroyed. Even Storm is like, they this place was our haven. Where we supposed to go? Well, Mur Island, they still have Shi'ar tech. They still have supplies and gear over there. So that's where they're going. And we got Scott in the OG outfit, not the first class. I'm talking about the first one, which looks like a giant condom over his head. Jean in that ridiculously stupid looking green dress and the mask. I don't like her early costume at all. Wolverine puts on the orange and brown. Looks good in this animation. I'm more of a fan of blue and yellow with a big ass X belt buckle, but this looks good. Scott throws Cable an outfit, and Cable not transform, but changes into his MVC2 / late 90s Cable with the blue and yellow. And he's like, am I going to battle, or am I in a circus? And Cyclops with the greatest reverse Uno card, says, "What did you expect? Black leather." A reference to the first X-Men movie where Wolverine's like, "Black leather?" He's like, "What did you expect? Yellow spandex?" Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We expected that. Brandon Singer, we expected that wholly. But we're finally going to get it in 2024. So, I almost forgot. Morph is in their Exiles outfit. Technically, trying to figure out the verbiage for Morph. Morph in the show is a they, them. So, Morph's outfit is the Exiles Morph outfit. Who else changed outfit? Roberto puts on a first class outfit, so that's pretty dang cool. And when Rogue wakes her punk ass up, she's wearing her green hoodie outfit. She had on Remy's coat for a while, but gave that to the professor. She's really taken a lot of Colossus's role from the comics, like the whole being mad at Professor X, leaving because of the death of a loved one. It's interesting. We do get to see blue and gold teams. Gold team on here: Storm, Jean, Storm, Cable, Morph, Forge, Beast. Blue team is Scott, Logan, Jubes, Kurt, Charles. And there's a reason why I've left out certain names. The original blue and gold teams, if I remember correctly, the gold team was Jean, Storm, Iceman, Bishop, Angel. I don't think Beast was on that team. Maybe he was on that team. I could easily just look it up. I don't feel like it. I know blue team was Scott, Logan, Jubilee, Gambit, and Rogue for sure. I think Beast was on that team. So yeah, but the reason why you don't see Roberto or Rogue on any of those teams is because they join Magneto. Magneto comes down with the asteroid M, and it's a sight to behold. It's thunderstorms and aurora borealis eyes, right? And one of the underlying themes is Charles Xavier is a screw up. I really want to use. Can I use some 4-letter words here, y'all? He fucked up. He just period. And the key center F up is making Magneto in charge. So before I go into Rogue and almost call Roberto Bobby. Yeah, call him Bobby. Bobby defecting. Let's talk about everyone disliking Charles. I didn't put this in the notes because it wasn't the major thing I wanted to talk about, but let's talk about this, right? So President Kelly, when Charles was trying to tell him, hey, give us some time. We got a way of dealing with Bastion. We just got to just get Magneto to fix everything. Thousands of people are dead already because of the Magneto's thing. Thousands of people have died. Because you got to imagine, when he did that blackout, there were people flying. Yeah. Or some people in submarines. Ooh, yeah. And he's telling President Kelly, look, you don't have to believe in me, but believe in the X-Men because they have always been here. They've always done their thing. So believe in me. I love the fact that you have two different people say, my X-Men and my X-Men. That was my Magneto impression. And so the president is the smallest diss on Xavier. The first one we are presented with, because Jean's like, look, world ends in 12 hours. You two gotta make this fast. And Scott is just like, why did you put Magneto in charge? What did you think was gonna happen? I wanted to give you a chance, you and Jean, to go off and live, to have Nathan. It's like, okay, don't we deserve to have a say-so in that? I feared that, you've done everything I've asked since you were young, and you were my first students. And I feared that while you were fighting to make a world where mutants can live however they want, you would not enjoy it. And then Scott's like, regardless, I would be back here. Nathan would have had to go to the future regardless because of Sinister. Bastion, I would have had to come back and deal with that. Regardless of anything, I would have come back. And he's like, and that is probably also part of my curse because here I am as well. And he extended that hand. Cyclops just walks right past him. And I'm just like, you deserved that, right? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything from their conversation. Yeah, you deserved all of that. The irony of the war room conversation beforehand, where like just the look on Jean and Scott's face at how pissed they are at perhaps that was a mistake, because just like you, I'm right back here. That's exactly what he said. They're so pissed at Charles. But I give Cyclops credit, because when Roberto was like, hey, you the one that gave the bad guy, control, he's like, enough of the blame game. We got work to do. And they just share a glance. And it's just so funny, this war room conversation, because he comes out, where Wolverine basically says, I'm gonna kill Magneto. Just flat out, like, there's only one way of convincing them, bub. And he's like, if anyone should be punished, punish me, Logan. Shut up. Actually, Magneto says this towards the end of this episode. He's like, it's something I wanted to say to you forever, old friend. He Beetlejuices him. On Beetlejuice, where he puts the metal thing over Gina Davis's mouth? He did it to Charles. It's so funny. And then there's back and forth there. They're trying to figure out a plan, which, they come up with a plan. I'll tell you the plan in a minute. It was funny. But this whole conversation, it's like, what are we gonna do? And Roberto is he's so funny, because he's so damn defeated, where he's like, yeah, okay, but we saved these people and turned them back. They have a plan of trying to turn them back ish. These people, we turn them back, okay, the people still gonna hate us. And Jubilee's like, yeah, that's like any day that ends in Y. And Storm's like, we will handle things like we always handle things. We will move forward as a family. And that's a good speech there, Stormy. And the plan was Bastion is the center hub. We find out that Professor X went to get Bastion because Cerebro detected him. And he thought it was a mutant. He was a technopath. He said, hey, maybe, when he mentioned mutant to his mother, she slammed the door, didn't let him come. And it's funny because Storm says that portrait on the wall of the first X-Men could have been different if Bastion had joined them. That needs to be a what if episode, by the way. I'm just putting it out there. What if Sebastian was in the first class of X-Men? That would be so interesting. Anyway. Figuring things out, putting up the blue and gold teams, and Rogue has a conversation with Charles, and he even says, I'm so sorry, he's even mourning. And I love that thank you for bringing up Moira, because they had a thing. Let's forget about the Krakoa shit. They had a thing. And I like that he said, Remy, Moira, everyone, right? It's just he feels so bad about all that. Actually, let me scroll down. Come on. Oh, Rogue was supposed to go with Scott on Blue Team. That's funny. Yeah, that's very funny. But she did not. Just gotta scroll down. Scroll down a little bit, Mr. Technopath. And he's like, Remy was the most Cajun man. Rogue's like, Remy's the most Cajun man I ever met. And he's like, I wonder if he should have been buried here. And she's like, well, Remy always understood that pieces of your past make up who you are. Maybe if you saw us as people and not students, you would have realized that. Now, first of all, I agree with that. Sick burn. Secondly, shut up, Rogue, because of what's going to happen soon. So I told you guys they went with him. Well, Magneto's like, yeah, we're going to leave this pigsty of a planet. Just let the planet die. Screw it. They want it. They can have it. We're going to go up here. And Rogue essentially turns her backs on them, saying like, yeah, no, I was going to be the Queen of Genosha anyway. And none of you were there for that. And I'm like, Nightcrawler was there. He saved you and Magneto's ass. What are you talking about? Why didn't Kurt speak up and go, mein Fräulein, mein Sister, bullshit? In German, of course, bullshit, with his Ninja Turtle hands, right? But he just didn't say anything. Okay, fine, whatever. let's talk about how then she goes down the line like an ass and goes, how many more of us have to die for Professor's dream? Because Magneto's like, the dream's over, we need something else. And I agree. The perfect person to carry on that is actually Cyclops, who was a merger of both of their dreams together. But I don't know if X-Men 97 would ever get to that point, even if unless we got like 5 seasons possibly, but I don't know if we'll ever get to that point. She's talking about, oh, what if Jean dies? Oh, wait, been there, done that. Poor Morph, they were barely on the team for 30 minutes before blah, 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 blah. It's like, was your goal to make everybody feel like shit? Because that really wasn't helping anyone here. And Roberto joins because his mom turned him over to the villains. That makes sense. But my thing is, neither one of these two thought ahead in the future that, oh yeah, they're gonna come up here and try to stop them, we gotta fight them. Like Rogue tried to tangle with Wolverine, because Wolverine's like, I'm ready to kill. She's like, you're here to kill, sugar. And when Roberto hits Jubilee, who was doing her thing against Magneto, he's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. And she's like throwing the shit back, like, yeah dude, what did you think was going to happen? You broke her heart. She's like, what about me? You think you don't have anything, what about me? You still left. So, hey, I could have told you that was going to happen. So, we got the team splitting up. Jean's team, Gold Team goes to handle Bastion. Beast and Forge have whipped up a device that was used to depower Jean when she was the Phoenix. So, if it worked on that, when the Phoenix is God tier, it'll work on Bastion, who's like, big boss, super big boss tier. Yeah, it should work on him. And initially Beast is like, hey, we could probably use the inhibitors to get rid of the nanos on the people. And Storm does a little thunderbolt. And Forge is like, all right, no neuralizers. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, Storm, we get it. You don't want to, something could happen. You could accidentally lose your powers again, possibly. If that's a way of getting rid of his powers forever without you guys having to murder him, I would consider that. I'm just saying, Storm. And you can keep your thunderbolts to yourself, okay? I'm just saying. And another team, we got to convince Magneto. Well, Charles is backup plan, because I love Logan's like, well, he's gonna reverse it just because we say please. Charles' backup plan is we get the helmet off of him, we take control of his mind, and then with his mind, he'll just puppet him and make him do it, right? I want to talk about which failures first. Let's talk about Gold Team's failure, which was cool for a while. Storm and Forge are in the sky because the others had to jump out because of the massive Sentinels that Bastion is controlling. By the way, the false hope given to Rogue when they found out Trask survived. Well, what about Remy? Nah, it's the other one. That was really cool. Just the whirlwinds catching the plane when it's going to fall. Or should I say whirlwind? Tornadoes catching when they fall. Being able to control the weather so that he can fly, and he does some good flying, and she can just take out those Sentinels. But on the ground, they're fighting more Sentinels, but Sinister's there. So it's Jean versus Sentinel. He's goading her, talking about, I can tell you when I switched you. Nah, it doesn't really matter. We are one, and I'll do the damn thing. Cause apparently he can move through shadows like a Naruto character. I don't recall that or remember that, but he can do that. He just rips off the top of a bowling alley. This is the area that Trask was in when what's his name was chasing him. It's some island. I forgot where the island is. But unfortunately, they played into his hands because Cable was with him, and Cable had a little diamond in there, just like his mom. And I love Cable's line of, just like my mother was a world-class telepath. That sort of thing doesn't tend to skip a generation. He's doing like some Dragon Ball shit with just beams, and she's trying to hold off. He gets Scott. She brings Scott there. And telekinetically, and she's like, I love you, and just beam overtakes her. Because in order for this plan to work, both sides have to win at the same time. So they do get the helmet off of him. Wolverine got the helmet off of Magneto, but the problem is that Gold Team's not ready. If they reactivate everything and reverse the blackout and reverse the poles, the Prime Sentinels are going to come back on. So Scott does the thing, beams him. It's like, they're not ready. They need more time, sir. Beast has great one-liners. You ever heard this? Rips off a Sentinel's hand and goes, "Do you know the sound of a one-handed clap?" Just Beast was being funny. Who else is on that damn team? Go Team James. Morph turned into the Incredible Hulk and said, "Morph smash." That combo attack of Morph using Hulk's strength and Jean telekinetically moving him around to add more force to it, that was badass in a way. Morph tried to trick Bastion. No, it didn't work because Sinister wouldn't care enough to rescue somebody else. He would just rescue himself. I love that Bastion knows that, but Morph didn't. That's so hilarious. So they gotta put the collar on him. I hope they hurry up and do it. But unfortunately, things up top are bad because Magneto has had enough. He restrains everybody that needs to be restrained. Wolverine's knocked out. We'll watch that in a second. And he puts the helmet on Charles. He's going to like squish his head. He says, "Oh, you finally found a metal to METTLE to do what's needed to be done." He calls him a race traitor, by the way. I've been called that before. That is a hilarious thing to call somebody who is not doing it. And, because Charles did the thing and he's like, he was hurting him. I didn't really care. He was hurting Magneto. It's Magneto. But Wolverine stabs him and he's like, "Been in a lot of wars, bub. Usually the bravest are the ones to die first." And he's like, "We can now end this long feud." And I'm like, what is he talking about, end long feud? And then we get the scene from 1993. I forget what X-Men issue that was. I feel like it's 1993. What was it? 275 with the blue and gold costumes. Might have been Uncanny 275. But 1993, where almost frame for frame remake, Magneto rips the adamantium out of Wolverine. Even down to how half the mask was on his face. Straight out of the comic book, just ripped it straight out. So if you look at people's YouTube videos and they say he killed Wolverine, he did not kill Wolverine. Wolverine will have bone claws for a while if they chose to not kill off everybody at the end of episode 10. I don't think they're going to kill off everybody, but yes, Wolverine's adamantium is taken out. All right then. And if memory serves me correctly, I think this might be how we get Onslaught. A lot of people were saying about, Onslaught's going to show up because of the tinkering of Magneto. We might get Onslaught because, I'm trying to remember correctly. If I remember correctly, after he does this and it looks, Wolverine is in horrible shape. And so Charles is just like, I'm sorry, Eric. I can't keep doing this. I can't believe you did that. So uses his mind and completely just puts him in a coma. But of course, he has to use his power to reverse everything, then put him in a coma. And I believe those events lead into the creation of Onslaught, which widespread Marvel event. If they actually have the gall, the mitigated gall to actually do that for a season 2, that would be fairly interesting. Everyone's expecting Apocalypse because that's how Gambit's going to come back as the Horseman of Death. Everyone's expecting that. If episode 10 ends with Onslaught coming out because Charles had to do what Charles felt that he needed to do, that'd be kind of cool. That was the big thing. I'm trying to see if I need to. I'm going to talk about some heart-to-heart stuff in a minute. Is there any other parts of the fight? The fighting was great. There any other we hate Charles things? Magneto's talk with Charles. So the president one was a small burn. Rogue's was bitter, so I don't consider that a big burn. Bitter with reason. I mean, the love of her life that she didn't really put forth in there. Most of Rogue's anger and bitterness is not just because he's dead, it's because of the fact that she kept things slow moving for so long that there is that regret there. And that's kind of on you, Rogue. Just saying, speaking from experience, that's on you. But Cyclops and Magneto's are in contention here, because Magneto, when he shows up with the asteroid, and Charles is saying, Magnus, be reasonable. He's like, I am being reasonable. No, your giant asteroid above my home says otherwise. Your home, you bequeath everything to me. You left everything to me. You asked me to follow your dream. And look where it got us. And that's literally what everybody's been saying. I'm going to interject as I recap that part. But I do believe in Magneto as a hero. But it can't be under Charles. Magneto has turned good guy. This isn't just the first time either with the M on the thing. I think this is the first time, but it isn't the last time. He's still technically a hero today. He's when in the X-Men From the Ashes in June, when the comics come back, he's going to be on the main X-Men team, probably as man in chair, right? And Darnell Krakor, he's a good guy. He was a good guy in Utopia, but he became a good guy in the Utopia era, maybe a little bit before that. I don't think he was there in San Francisco. He wasn't there in San Francisco, but the Utopia era, because when he shows up and all the X-Men are like, whoa, we're getting ready to fight him. He bends the knee to Cyclops because he sees Cyclops isn't toting Charles's dream. What he's doing, he's kind of taking a bit of Magneto and a bit of Charles and a bit of what he has gone through since he was a teenager. And I said, yeah, look, we're going to fight for peace. We're going to protect people. We're going to protect mutants. But we're not going to sit back and always let you all like bully us into a corner. We will take initiative if we have to. He's the one that came up with, who brought back X-Force and made them his assassin hit squad. Cyclops, Magneto was right, but Cyclops was right as well. So Magneto works as a hero. But here, where Charles did say to the president, like, Magneto is a man trying to survive in a world where you all keep constantly proving him right. And he's trying to talk his buddy down, right? But his buddy says, nah, man, like, wait, hold on. Let me pull this up. So he says, undo the damage you did, or you're going to hurt human and mankind. And he's like, can they undo Genosha? He's like, you should have seen it. It was just like you described at the bar. But, you know, he doesn't care about the way that they have a way of beating Bastion, you know. And the speech that Magneto gives, probably, I'm going to give it above Cyclops because it's really good. He says, I promised the boy a future free of fear, only to watch his tiny eyes vaporized inside his tiny skull because he believed in me. And he flies past him. Like, so many people are walking past you, Charles, because we're sick of your shit. But that was such a good line. When they're up on asteroid Genosha M, and Charles is like, thousands have died, please. And Magneto rightfully, yeah, and thousands more died on Genosha. I tell you what, you want me to reverse this? Can they reverse Genosha? And it's like, ew, he has a point. But you're going to kill let's say you don't care about the humans, right? There's still mutants out there that are kind of just chilling. You're going to murder all of them as well. Like, are you just going to bring the asteroid down and try to pick up select one? Or was it just going to be you, Rogue, and Roberto just doing a thruple thing to bring back everything? Roberto, did you think this through? Are you just done with your mom? Because now he doesn't really have the Afro Brazilian backstory of bigotry and racism being thrown at him. He more just has the mutant side, a kind of a coming out story, if you will. So I need more of his motivations and such. But what was the overall plan here? Just these guys. And now that I think about it, he used magnetism, super pulse wave, to wrap metal around everybody and push them all back. Nightcrawler, you couldn't, like, teleport out of that, like, poof, and, like, punch him in the head and then poof, get the helmet off of Charles so he didn't die. Because when they first showed up and Rogue was ripping into their Blackbird, they already teleported out of there. She's like, yeah, elf. By the way, I don't like deep Southern girl Rogue calling Storm a gal when Storm is like, hey, friend, no, don't do this. We can work together. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that for historical reasons. Just not a fan. But really good episode. One time talking about relationships. So I did not know that Beast and Forge had known each other before this, and they kind of did they did the dap up. But a lot of what I've seen here with people with deep friendships in this episode, they touch foreheads, and it's kind of like, you know, it's a greeting. It's like it's a very touching thing. Honestly, it's a very, very touching thing. All in all, right? The other ones that did this was the sisters, Jean and Storm, where Jean didn't want to let Storm battle by herself, and they touched their heads. And I love the line. She's like, was it make them mind your weather? And she said, make them weather your mind, sister. The moment that Jean sees Storm come in, she telekinetically flies and hugs her, and they're all hugging in the air. They do the forehead touch thing too. It's nice. It's very, very nice. They've always been close, at least in those early parts of the comics. Actually, all the way through. Probably not up to recently, because things have been kind of splintered a little bit, but there's always been that relationship there. One thing, it's a detail that I like. I don't know if anybody else paid attention to this. When Magneto flies past Charles and he starts talking to the rest of them, his X-Men, my X-Men, as soon as he gets there, Scott has his hand on his glasses ready to pull them off, and Logan has just the claws out. I like that those two are just ready. Scott is the rational one with the plan, leader man. Wolverine is the guy who has been around for over 100 years, who knows how shit goes down. And I like that those two were just ready. Everybody else was just, we're watching, like, nah, let's what's he about to do? I like that. I like that. Is there any other parts? Oh, Beast was sad with Trilby. He was holding her hand at the Mer Island. He was sad. It's going to take years to remove Sentinel Nanotech, but we're going to figure it out, because that's his lady. That's his girl. Man, the suit up was nice. I just didn't like the fade in, fade out. I kind of wish they would have just had them all keep walking and walk off, but that was fun. That was nice and fun. This episode, much like all the other episodes, if I'm gonna be real, it's just 5 out of 5. Like, for sure. If I could give it a 6 out of 5, I would. Just great. I don't know. Like, are we going to address him nearly killing Wolverine in the very beginning of next episode? Like, is Jean dead again? How many casualties are we going to get? Because we already got dead Gambit, which I like trolling people, because there are some way too big hardcore fanatics that are just like, bring back Gambit now. You see them on the post, bring him back. And it's like, it's a story based on a comic book. One, they have to let the death probably last all season so that you can feel the weight. Two, he's going to come back. Why wouldn't Gambit come back? Should be asking, where's Bishop? Actually, that's the thing that Rogue says. Rogue says, heaven knows where Bishop is, right? Which, that kind of sucks. The fact that he was trying to do a good thing and got lost in the time stream. I wonder if Bishop comes back and is just like, kill Professor X. Sorry, that just made me laugh. But yes, some people are saddened because they're like, for some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm older, but Charles is just, I just don't like him. This is Xavier from the comics. This is how he is. He is pretty much always has been like this. Just, hey, it is what it is, guys. 5 out of 5. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section below. What was your favorite part? I I gotta say, like, I really enjoyed. I hate to say I enjoyed the ending, but the ending was so surprising, and I read the damn comics, right? So I know what was gonna happen, but that was so surprising to me. That's really good. The speeches were really good. Like the relationship parts were really good. Just all of it's really good. But moment, that's gonna be a top moment. Whenever they do their sizzle reel after the whole season's done, you know that's making it in there. Bone Claw Wolverine. Hopefully we get him all for season 2. Just all bone claws all the time. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Be notified of more reviews just like this. We're one more episode away. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a really good send-off. Please be good, be blessed, wash those hands, drink some water, be safe out there, be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk, all right? All right? If you want to go ahead and contact me, my social medias are in the description below. Give me a follow, send me a message. As long as you're not a jerk, we'll be good, all right? And remember, there are people out there that care about you. Don't be like Rogue and Roberto. Talk to somebody. Reach out to people. There are people out there who would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I guarantee it, true believers. Until next time, I'm hyped. I'm hyped and I cannot wait. Excelsior.